You're in Rico County.
Carolina's GRTC.
Yes, ma'am.
Janice with GRTC.
Dexter, GRTC.
Anthony Carter, GRTC.
Jansen, GRTC.
Monica Carter, GRTC. Laura, GRTC. Tommy Thompson, GRTC.
Alexander, GRTC.
Ken Lance, an RVA.
Sheree
Bill Ferris, GRTC. Oliver, GRTC.
All right, thank you, everyone. Do we have minutes to accept? I don't think I see that on there.
It is, but it's after
Approval of minutes, okay. All right, so we did have a shareholders meeting last Wednesday. It was a long meeting. It might have broken the record for shortest meeting.
Less than a minute.
Yeah, it was quick. We just pretty much solidified our current board. I think everybody was reappointed to the board, and until we meet again, I think we'll do it again next year. So we do this every year. All right, so Barb, nominations and election. Oh, no Barb. So who is who? All right, Todd.
All right, so the nominating committee met and selected the following slate of officers for the GRTC Board of Directors. For chair, Ren Nelson, representing Henrico County. For vice chair, Jim Engel, representing Chesterfield County. And for treasurer, Ellen Robertson, representing the city of Richmond. We need a.
Did you talk about making out of 1 year instead of 2 years?
It's generally 1 year.
Yeah.
Okay. For some reason, somebody had told me it was 2 years.
I did, like, but it wasn't practical.
All right. So
It's reiterated each year at the shareholders meeting.
Moved, if that's what you're looking for.
Second.
All right, move to second, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you. So we will revisit this again next year, but in the meantime, looking forward to working with you guys again. Public comments. Good morning.
Well, you should mention this outfit. I wore a suit for the movie yesterday, and I guess I forgot that that was my outfit for today.
Yeah, I can verify that you did have a suit on. I can verify.
I have received 3 comments in the 2 months. 3 board meetings. They're all from my friends that already represented. 2 minutes and I'll read them right here. So from Brian, he says I'm going back and forth through programs and homeless shelter. Currently getting my first certificate and all that. I can't work from home, but soon within a month or 2, I will. Thanks to the 0 bus fares, I'm hoping that can extend longer. George Sinclair, he says, I'm resident of Richmond. 0 fare, I have a better lifestyle because I accomplish more living necessities. Without 0 fare, I won't have the funds to go to my vacations I need. Expenses from Social Security benefits. I am an everyday transit rider and know many others like me. For our lifestyle, this would benefit us. And then finally, from our friend Demetrius, he says, as we are close to the second extension of the Route 1 going to Virginia Center Commons, I've noticed the situation that involves the designation since late June. Since the route extends to Reynolds at that time, I've spoken with a few residents as well as passengers, and they told me that the destination time shows up as Chamberlain/Reynolds, soon to be either Chamberlain/BTC or Chamberlain/Brook/BCT. And they don't know if the route will go all the way to the northern terminus or the short term to Azalea, parentheses, in which the designation sign should maintain for that purpose. The solution, I believe, should be similar to Route 19, where for destination sign shows up. Quickly on that one, Trish and I have briefly discussed looking into our destination sites across all of our routes, just because we do have some legacy routes where destination sites say one thing on the 18, for example, and a different. So perhaps we can come back to this in a couple months. That is it for the comments. Thank you so much. Have a good morning.
All right, thank you. I think everyone in here is connected to GRTC in some way. Anybody have any public comments who's here amongst us? All right, thank you. Consent agenda, Route 1, expansion media approval of minutes, I'm sorry, and retreat minutes. Approval of minutes, can we? All right, motion made and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Now consent agenda. Route 1, expansion, media buys, maintenance and support agreement, Hasters, pest control, commuter assistance program, environmental remediation, demolition of church building. And I assume that all these staff persons here, I think they are. Does anyone have any questions about any of these items? 5 of them. All right, if no questions, can we get a motion to accept the consent agenda? I just need 1 second. That's all. Oh, okay. All right, moving a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Operational reports, Kevin. Kevin has a suit on. Day 2. Had one on yesterday too. And we gotta tighten up. We gotta tighten Henry up a little bit.
Yes.
Electric riding the operations report for last month. I'm gonna try something different and have a few slides to go along with it. All right, so starting off with the transportation department of fixed route services. I want to go through our operator headcount. So our goal is still 325 operators. For the month of September, we are right at 314. We are seeing an increase from the summer, close to that number. And I'm happy to report that we have 19 trainees, various stages of training. So we're hopefully going to get to that goal very soon. I'm going to put some stuff that's mentioned here to our scheduled trip operator. We continue to operate close to about 99.95% last month, which is kudos to our transportation supervision team for their hard work despite that. As I mentioned, we have 19 trainings in various states right now. I also want to highlight a program that we launched with our local union ACU, Local 1220, called the MEET program, which is mentoring educational training that mirrors national efforts for retention with other agencies. The first mentorship meeting took place at the end of August, which is essentially our senior operators pairing up with rookie operators to help them through the process of being a bus operator, not just here at GRTC, but in general. So we're hoping that will also help with everything. Moving on to our micro transit department, staffing and operations have been stable and consistent. This past week, we started our expansion in Ashland zone, so we can connect that with the Route 1. This Saturday, we'll begin the expansion of operations for the day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And also, as you saw yesterday at the media event, we did launch our brand new micro transit link vans. You see a picture here as well. And we're also working on a new EV van, electric vehicle. You may have seen yesterday too, so we'll share that. Moving on to our safety security department, this is formerly known as the risk management department, as we have stated in previous meetings. We're going through restructure change within that division. So starting off with safety, I did want to highlight in September, we only had 39 reported incidents. You compare that to last year, we had 50. So it's great to see the efforts there, reduction in reported incidents on our fixed route services. Within our mobility services, specialized transportation, and microtransit, it's pretty stable. As you can see with paratransit in orange, at 9 and 5 back in August and September last year, we're at 9 and 6. Microtransit averaging these are all related to irregular operators. So we're going to continue to address that with retraining. Now with security, we had no physical assault reported in September, which is always very good. We did have 3 verbal altercations that were reported on Fritz route, none were reported for air transit. As I mentioned with the restructured risk management department, our leadership within safety and security monitoring is working really hard to build the foundation and structure of this department. And they're working on different ways to innovate, improving security for the riders and our employees, the transit system. Now, one thing I want to mention is they work together with our facilities department to improve the lighting around the facility here, the parking lot. And that's a little right here, but the left picture here was before, the right picture was after. So at night, it's really dark out front, and we are 24/7. This is amazing to see, just little improvements that we can do. Now, for the customer service, I want to highlight it's amazing that we had a over 50% decrease in complaints between August and September. And we compare that to last year as well. Last year we had 61 complaints. That's my very transit complaints also decreased. Overall accommodations for the
Before you, would you mind if I just, do you have anything that you can attribute that dramatic a drop to that you think might have caused it? Or is it, we just had a good month?
A good month without.
And making sure we're monitoring the on-time performance so that operate. And our transportation supervisors are doing a great job with that. And Kevin can also talk to some new software that will also help us address on-time performance. But a lot of complaints were due to the shortage of operators, and the bus didn't show up, the bus was late, or things like that. So we were receiving more complaints, but with the almost full complement of operators, it helps with it.
Awesome. Thank you.
We're continuing to perform 80% or better on our preventative inspections across the entire system. Now, that's over 247 vehicles. So just to put that in perspective, we're continuing to monitor model between calls, specifically for our specialized transportation. So we're seeing vehicles fail a little bit more, but that's just age. We'll be having some new vehicles driving students. And then concluding with facilities, we have a few projects ongoing. As I mentioned, interior lighting. We're also targeting the repainting phase of the building. And then we also recently completed our HVAC and hot water system replacement and technology upgrades. This image here is just showing now that we have access to a system to actually monitor and water. Last but not least, we are nearing completion and opening of our employee fitness center. On the left side here, you can see what it was once we cleared out the table and painted, and now we actually sell equipment for our staff. So really excited for that.
All right, any additional questions? Thank you, sir. I kind of like this way better. We appreciate you. Appreciate you. All right, Patricia Robinson with ridership performance.
So we'll just jump into our quarterly ridership report. This will go really quickly, just a couple of routes, mostly because as expected. So we have our pulses are off with, so we have a 16% increase in ridership from this quarter compared to this time last year. Moving into our arterial routes, just highlighting a few
in ridership that are over 4% increase from last year, and one of the 50s, we have 19 at the bottom, as a 54% increase in ridership. It does highlight the total cost per passenger being a little bit higher. We doubled the frequency back in January, which is increasing the ridership, but also it's a long route, so that kind of comes along with the territory. The 1A had a 46% increase with 15 passengers per trip, which is an increase from its last year by almost 23%. And then our other 42% is our Route 5, which is a service increase also in January. That one has a 42% increase in ridership. For our community and regional routes, we do see a lower passenger per trip for our 76 and 77, pretty consistent with how it reports quarter over quarter. And then we have seen an increase in our Route 20 ridership by 46%. That was also on our list of service increases. For our circulator feeder connector routes, the 91 about 26%. Also part of that service updates for January. So just kind of nice to see those changes reflected on numbers really well. A little bit lower on the 88, still keeping it in mind as a good option for placing it with microtransit for FY26 as part of our transit strategic plan. Our express routes, the total cost per passenger for the 95, still on the higher side. It's a long route, so to be expected. The 64 has a lower passenger per trip, decrease in ridership by 17%. With that 21% coming off 29. So continue to monitor those max loads, and especially after the reduction in service from COVID, and just kind of that restructuring express routes and on-time performance. Still the standard, no more than 1 minute early, 5 minutes late. We are at 1% from last year, so it's not too exciting, but we're working towards preparing software to help both the scheduling side and the operations side. So we're really excited to see some results there. Focusing mainly on our early trips to try to decrease those because it is hard to manage. It's traffic, it's construction, it's management. Early is kind of the one that we can hone in. Focus on making sure time points early. And just a quick our micro transit. We are starting to plateau in our service, so that's interesting to see, especially since the Azalea has been operating for almost a year now. That's kind of our time it takes to really see a plateau. We're sitting at about 2,600 for ridership for Azalea. Slight decrease from last month. Last weekdays, there was a holiday. Overall, it seems about standard. And then the sales continues to increase. A little bit. It was at 5:30 for last. But it jumped from June to July from the 300s to the 500s.
Questions that we have not asked? All right, thank you, man. We appreciate you. All right. This is Zanzarella. No project reports. Laura. So, tooth me, I apologize.
Report. My name is Laura Toothman. I'm the new capital improvement program manager. I'm just going to go over a few of our active projects right now. For pulse station modifications, we have we're doing one at a time right now. Currently, we have the Aquabot eastbound station. We'll start the Main Street station eastbound. Right now, they are moving very quickly. There was a short period where they were out how the operation of each modification is going to go, but we're doing really well right now. For the Pulse Western extension, we had a public meeting at the Grand Library. We had really good attendance and were very good conversation about that. And since that meeting, we have also visited the Federal Administration, Department of Historic Resources, to discuss any potential impacts on in the project area. For our north-south pulse route, we had 2 public meetings last week, and one at the Richmond Urban Ministry Institute on which had a fairly small turnout, but a lot of the people who did come were very engaged. A lot of really good questions. First Baptist Church was our next meeting. We didn't really have a lot of turnout for that one or for the Richmond Public Library, but those will not be our last public meeting, so we're looking to more of them as we progress. Finally, as you all will see, Steve McNally included a more in-depth update on the demolition and renovation of our lot next door. And so we're looking forward to beginning projects, the demolition project.
Doesn't seem like it. Thank you. Right now, financial report.
Morning, Mr. Chair, members of the board. On page 66 in your packet, you'll find the August. This is for the 2 months, fiscal 25, ending August 31st, 2024. So on the revenue side, slightly unfair, about $376,000. Main driver here is unfavorable city funds, $1.4 million. It's just time and reimbursement for the routes 19 and 17. This is, we have grants in place, we just have to get work through them to get the big structure settled and get all the executed going. So not a concern here. Probably be up and ready. That's offset by favorable federal funds, about $750,000, and that's more or less it's the timing of the grant funded projects. This was a rather large PM flex fund reimbursement that occurred in July and August relative to the capitalization of that revenue. And then we'll share a match to also the grant fund. So several large projects that the local revenue match funded. Offsetting this is, as you're all aware, in the adopted fiscal 25 budget of $1 million. 40 was GRTC matching portion of the zero fare that's coming up on balance. So the impact on that is about $170,000 offset. All in all, no concerns for the first 2 months with regards to the revenue side. On the expense side, favorable to budget, $2.7 million approximately on the budget of $14.8. Components of this, about $542,000 is variable labor. The operations budget for fiscal 25 contained 366 FTEs in this cabinet. 4 were running around. As of August, this report was 312 operators. Microtransit had 30 FTEs and running a little bit below portion of the favorability. Remaining services are favorable 1.1 million. Consultancy related to the projects. But that's a timing issue. Materials and supplies are also favorable 1.1 million. It's 2 months. A large bit of activity. You'll see if you look at the balance sheet, there is an increase in inventories from June. So it's parts of the balance sheet as opposed to being expense. So no real concerns there. Insurance premium expense slightly unfavorable, $41,000. There was a workers' comp premium audit adjustment that had a additional premium as a result. This is basically all in all, I mean, not much to report. It's really 2 months of that concerns.
Thank you. Questions, colleagues? All right, well, hopefully we'll keep on this positive track that we on.
Whatever finance committee, GRTC financial audits, and so at November, fire audit communications around that.
All right, thank you, sir. All right. CEO report.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to introduce our employee of the month. I forget what month it is. October, correct? All right. So we actually have all 4 of them. We normally have 3. But this month we had 4. So I would like to introduce Mr. Kevin Noir, who is one of our shop foremen. He oversees one of our lead supervisors over transportation. And finally, Sharika was also nominated as our employee of the month. So we would like to congratulate each of them and thank them.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we appreciate you. Colleagues, we're going to try to, I think it's development and operations. Is that right? You're going to get, those of you who were on development or operations, you're going to get emails asking you to hold some dates or check some dates, try to be more consistent with those committees this go around, quarterly at least. So you'll get some emails in the next 2 weeks so that we can be a little bit more consistent. You know, finance meets monthly, and so we're trying to at least do quarterly with development and operations. Yesterday, I was with Cheryl 3 times yesterday. I had 2 community meetings in my district, and so Cheryl was one of the speakers, and Joe came with her, and what was that? It was somebody else. Oh no, we had RVA Rapid Transit people there as well. Good. I mean, Cheryl was received well in both of the meetings. The general consensus is what we often hear in Henrico, which is bus shelters. So clean bus stops. That primarily was the main thing we heard, but Cheryl updated on micro transit, which we expanded in Varina, and some stop ads and all of that stuff. So, but it was good. I appreciate her coming out representing GRTC, and we have our marching orders from the community as it relates to getting up those bus shelters and pay as quickly as possible. So, sure, all of you are hearing the same thing. So, we're being challenged on that end. The middle time was ribbon cutting for the expansion that you have seen in the news. So you want to talk about that experience yesterday?
Absolutely. It was a good turnout at the ribbon cutting ceremony. It was a beautiful day. And we had a lot of RVA rapid transit people there, as well as a lot of people from RICO, seeing some general public. It went really well, and we were excited about the expansion. And I know Henry gave an update about a person who had just gotten a job there, who didn't know how he was going to get to work. And when they were out, Pembroke was going to be there, so he was ecstatic that he was going to have a consistent way to get to work. So we'll see.
I took that. I heard you telling somebody else that. So I heard Henry telling his story. I was just standing there listening. And the lady that was interviewing him was like, have you heard a great story? I was like, I sure have. I literally just heard it. So, yeah. So, but it was, 36 new stops, 15 and a half miles of additional coverage. GRTC is doing well. And it's because of you and all of the great work that you guys do and the persons that work with you. So thank you.
It is. I couldn't do it without good staff. So appreciate everything they do.
Baby update. Do we have one?
We have a baby, but we have a baby as of yesterday.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. We'll send our love, please. And
Absolutely.
let her know we are excited for her and her family.
Yes.
All right. Any other business?